All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Apothecary Diaries, episode 18.
All right.
Tea. We just got some of it spilled. And, like, what does it mean?
And Lakan is involved with fucking up things with regards to potentially Mau Mau's mother, but probably not knocked up directly.
Because,
he has
made it very clear that he never had her.
Right. So it's the, like, does he regret that? Was that, like, something then he could then have her later? My
mind is going to various different places.
It's interesting because in some literal way, our minds are full of fuck.
Yes.
Yes. Literally.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's how you reduce a courtesan's value to near zero.
Right.
Is she gets pregnant.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Uh-huh.
So not just getting pregnant and then, like, getting rid of the baby, but, like, getting pregnant and then probably, like, having a baby.
Yeah.
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 So, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
Because I imagine...
This is going to be really interesting then.
It will be. It will be. Yeah.
Yeah. Because the last episode basically just set up this one for a big tee up, and now it's just, okay, let's see how far this golf ball goes.
All the research that I have ever done with regards to ancient forms of birth control is now, like, whizzing around in my mind. It was for writing.
Writing.
Yeah, exactly. And now I'm like, wait, are they actually going to go into that? Like,
probably, yeah. It's going to be,
maybe, yeah.
It's going to be interesting. So, yeah, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Well, yeah, I mean, it transitioned from them hanging out in the alley with the meat to then the flowers withering.
Yep.
So is that, the courtesan's value deteriorating?
Oh, yes, and then
it's his design, and then
his desire,
the transition from hands to hands to then seeing her.
Mm-hmm.
ここでか。せっかく変装したのに。では。
Plus, that was an uncomfortable conversation, and I kind of want some distance right now.
Yeah.
何の考えもなく言ってのけたはずだ。
Whoa.
今宵はお楽しみくださいませ。
Yeah, but that's not why he's going there.
No, it's not. Shit. Fuck! What a jump scare! Oh!
私の夢いや赤子の頃の夢かあんなこと話したせいかな
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's a title. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
今日はどうする
Whoa.
別に
六章館に行ってくれないかい
いいけど
I don't particularly want to go there right now, but okay.
Yeah.
ようママを
Yo, Momo!
いいのか
休みもらえたから
結局薬屋に来てんだな
It's my favorite spot.
ね
Man, looked as respectfully as possible.
よくわからないけどパイリン姉ちゃんも大変そうだな。
いつまでも居座るからこっちが話を取り持ってやってんだろ。
頼んでません。
なんだい買ってたわ。来てたのかい
Nope.
木から来ましたよ
離れに行くのかしら。
Oh, wow.
昔は毛嫌いされて追い出されたけど、もうそんな元気もないか。
Oh, shit.
Fuck.
Shit.
記憶もずたずた
Oh my god. Oh, we're gonna have our hearts ripped out this episode, Jacob.
親父の薬はよく効くけど、こうなっては気休めにもならない。与えるしか治療法がわからない。
また来てますよ
鼻が利くね
Wow.
No way.
No,
今
no.
でこそ格式ある技能だが、泥のかかった看板をかけていた時期がある。この妓女はその数年間に客を取り、豪にも梅毒を移された。
Unlucky. Of
親父が
course.
六召喚を訪れた頃は、病状を伝えていれば対処もできただろうが、突然現れた元宦官の男を 客を取らねば食うていけない。それが議論の掟だ。再び発疹が出始めると腫瘍は瞬く間に広がった。
Yeah.
客の目の届かぬその離れに押し込められている。ドブに投げ出されなかっただけか。
Yeah.
だいぶ匂いがこもってるな。
Wow, so she's carrying all this emotion and stuff inside her.
Yep.
Wow, that's why she was saying it's so hard to talk about that without, giving any emotion, in it.
Yeah.
All right, this is going to be hard for me.
どうした？
Yep. I'm here to warn you, yeah.
わかった。
Yeah, not even a...
I love the additional context that this gives to how unflappable Mao Mao is.
Yeah, yeah.
あの客が来ることはない。6召喚の顧客で。
Oh, shit.
Oh. She's trying to play still, but... Yeah.
バカな。
あのお客さん、もう帰ったよ。
めいめい姉ちゃんが相手してたの？
他にいないでしょ。姉さん今日は具合良さそうね。あの話が来たわ。
Yeah.
姉ちゃんよく付き合えるね。
おばばも金払いさえ良ければ何も言わないし。
私を義女に従うのはそういうことだろう。
望み望まれを願って叶う義女が。
陰の重みでそんなもん蹴り飛ばす。
私もそろそろいい年だし。
義女としては引退の年齢だもん。
Damn.
独立すれば。
もう少しだけ。
Oh.
めいめい姉ちゃんの感情は深く考えたくもない。もしそれが
Yeah, of course she's not interested.
そんな感情はきっと。
久しぶりに背中流そうか。流しっこなんて懐かしい。
Yeah, get some stress out of this, yeah.
明日からまたしばらく帰ってこれないだろ。
サービスするんだから乗客の件も忘れないでよ。
待ち合わせの店が花町のような接待をしていたとは、そんなものを買いに行ったわけじゃないのに。薬屋少しいいか。
はい。
Yeah.
睡蓮と飲んでくれ。
それでは仕事に戻りますので。
Yeah.
She's the fact that she's so functioning about this. That's like I feel like that's the most brutal part.
今夜は精進料理だから。休憩中だからってお留守になりすぎちゃダメよ。
Yeah.
精進料理ですよね。しまった。仕事してればすぐに頭から離れると思って。
変な草を物置に隠すのもダメよ。
Wait, really? No. Say it ain't so.
置き場所がないなら余ってる部屋を使わせ
Just,
て
yeah, just
Right.
initiate communication about it.
薬棚扱いはできません。
ナオマオは気にしてないように見えて
Uh-huh.
区切りをつけているわよね。
私は癒しい生まれの娘ですから。
尊い生まれだからといって最初から別のものだと思わないで。身分だけで何でも分けるのはもったいないわ。
This feels like a very kind way to kind of have the subject matter brought up for Mao Mao with a kind
Yeah.
hand and kind of a soft direction of things.
This is how she can get her mind off of it.
ヤブ医者が管理する高級の医局とは大違い。怪我人も多いから。
Sure.
And they need to tend to them quickly too. So
And in scale.
薬棚には何が入ってるんだろう。玉獣をあさり。
I would heist the shit out of this place.
Yep.
何やってるの？
You
Hi.
again. Hey,
ただ薬を待っていただけですが。
Conceal, don't feel.
来ていたのか。
詰め所の常備薬をいただきに。
Ah. Mm-hmm.
以前あったのも
That's
軍部
true.
の力
Yeah.
だったの。薬草の匂いがしたのは軍部に勤めているからか。
Yeah, she had a unique smell.
yeah.
She was near where Lakan was.
手嫌いされてるような。
本来なら感情なんてやらなくていいのに。
Oh, doing what? Oh.
なんでもない。それより薬だろ。
Hmm.
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 何の薬だろ
Yeah, just check.
う。芋の粉か。人士様は不可解な点が多い。月に一度ほど
Okay.
定期的に回ってくる仕事もそうだけど、前日からゆっくり湯あみをして、 こう炊いて出かけて精進料理もそう。まるでみそぎだ。宦官の
Yeah.
妻子をやれるのだろうか。それほどの男がなぜ宦官に？女帝の一存で宦官にされてしまったのだろうか。親父のように。
元宦官で医官だそうだ。
元医官に教えを受けたならあの知識は納得がいきますが、元宦官ですか？
そうだ。
宦官の中にいたでしょうか？
失礼するよ。
Hey!
You again.
Hello.
先日の話の続きをしましょうか。
You seemed like you might have gotten new info.
随分悪どいことをされたようですね。
ようやくやり手ババアを説得したのに、横からかっさらわれた身にもなるといい。
Wow.
油揚げを返せと。
Uh-huh.
いや、
A fair trade.
嫌だと言ったら。
そう言われるとな。
Yeah, you're
Right.
bigger than me, yeah.
片手の指ほども存在しない。
Oh.
やはり。
Yeah, he does, yeah.
Okay.
娘がどう思う？
Oh shit. Yeah, it is
つ
that.
まりそういうことだ。認めたくないが。
Yeah.
ロマオの
Yep.
実
Like it
の
was
父親
Yeah.
it was very painted on, but like
Uh-huh. Well, that's probably what happened with his sperm too.
yeah, yeah.
そのうち会いに行くと伝えていただけますか？では。
All right.
今度お前に会いたいという官がいるのだが、前から話している変人だ。ラカンという。
Yeah. 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 Oh my god, that's so cool.
ありがとうございます。
That's so cool.
Okay. I was not expecting that.
I was not expecting that either. But
I
what
wanna
a
go back
cool
and get a
way
freeze frame.
to
Yeah.
deliver.
Yeah.
二度と見たくない。
やっぱり気づかれてたか。
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, back here again. These flowers. The OP.
薬草畑だ。そこにもあそこに
Please don't let this episode have a stinger.
あなたなの。安心してください。まだ何も取ってません。今から取ろうとしてたと認識していいかしら。
Oh shit. Then you can help me.
別に咎めないわよ。
I come here as well for the same thing.
公式な畑だし、以下も知っている場所だから、あまり出入りしない方がいいわ。この場を任されているんですか？私も好きなものを植えさせてもらっているだけ。雑草だけを選んで抜いている。あまり活力のあふれる性格ではなさそうだ。何を植えているのですか？よみがえりの薬。死者がよみがえることのできる薬。なものが実在するなら、喉から手が出るほど欲しい。冗談よ。冗談。
Yeah, of course.
クスシって聞いたけど、どれほどの腕前なのかしら。もう少し先の話だけど、ここに朝顔を植えるわ。
Oh, this music just
Yeah.
has got me buzzing right now. You missed some spots. Fun.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. And it's like, what could
Okay.
you possibly have after that? All right, so.
Oh, well, they just came out and said it.
Yeah. All right.
It felt very, like, on the nose before, but it's the, hey,
No, well, with the
Yeah.
distinction of, I never forced myself on her, and I wish I had, you know,
Right.
you do kind of have to confirm, yes, no, he is actually biologically your
right.
father.
yeah. Well, this is fun because I don't really know much about, like, syphilis as a whole,
Me
but it's
neither.
an STD.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it can fuck up, like, all parts of your faculties. It's not just your body, it's your mind, it's a whole bunch of other stuff. But, all right, well, that was
Okay.
an episode. Okay,
Yeah,
so
so-
confirmed, yes, Lakan, of course, is the father.
Yep.
He had very much stated that he was not, one that, specifically, like, forced himself upon her, but
Yeah.
he did end up getting her pregnant with his seed at the very least.
Yep.
So, on some level, he made sure that this happened.
Right.
As to the exact mechanics of how, in some ways, it's better that we don't necessarily know the details because there's
Yep.
many ways that this could have been done. The main thing is that he probably had somebody else do this for him.
My guess is that he had somebody else basically fuck with her birth control, and as a result of that,
Okay, so there's a couple things that this implies. The idea that Mao Mao has been protected in a interesting way because her value will continually go up as long as she is pure, effectively, for the old lady. And all this ties together in that this guy keeps coming back and being like, I want her, I want her,
She already
I want
has
her.
a buyer.
And thus it's the, no, I'm not going to have her be sold or have her body, be used in any way.
Well, and she's doing work for us at the, as an
right.
apothecary
So
anyways,
the old lady is both a complex character in that she's leveraging Mao Mao's value to her over the course of this time, but then Mao Mao has the chance thing of then getting abducted, which now doesn't seem like a coincidence because it brought her into the palace.
Oh.
Now, the part that might be interesting about this was that maybe that was entirely a coincidence.
I think it is a coincidence, and it's the coincidence that threw a wrench into his plans, basically. Because he's like, all right, I've been working on this for a decade.
But I think
that in and of itself is all kinds of.
But I think if it was this easy to abduct her in this way, maybe that's the point. Is that that's not how he is. He's the kind of person that needs it all to be above books and like.
Sure,
he's like, I'm going to purchase her. That's my thing.
Yeah.
I want my daughter, and I'm going to purchase her. I'm going to do it all the legal way and what have you. So the thing that's interesting though about this is that I don't then, by this extension, think that he's immediately trying to like sleep with her or anything like that. That's no, really. I don't think that that's immediately the case here, because that would take things into a really dark and really intense direction.
I think that's exactly where it is.
Now that could be it, because Mao Mao does have the look of like, and we've got this look coming up here. Which, by the way, as far as a directed choice of how to display that, when you have the characters kind of go back, like have that zoomed out perspective as you're like, I don't know what their face is. Usually it's that there's going to be a dramatic transition of, okay, now you see her face and it's really intense. But instead it's you're going to get a flash of that. Because Mao Mao's whole character has been one that's revealed that she's had another mask that she's held onto all the time, which is that she not only knows about Lakan, she's been caring for her mother, who's been riddled with syphilis,
who tried to kill her
in the verdigris house, who tried to kill her, probably with regards to her sickness coming about there, which is then really interesting because there's then the possibility that Mao Mao is someone that could have potentially contracted syphilis through the delivery of coming from her mother here. And then that adds extra purpose as to why she's with this, specialized doctor here who might have spent so much of her early childhood treating her so that she doesn't have syphilis anymore.
Because
or just to prepare in case she does end up showing symptoms at some point in the future.
Right. Yeah, I'm guessing it's something where he basically managed to save her because he got there fairly early, but
not enough to save the mom.
Not enough to save the mom, but early enough to save her. Right. So okay, cool.
Yeah.
The I gotta say, having a character like Lakan, as like a full villain, right, in your like rom-com basically, that's a very bold choice.
Because that's the thing.
Make.
This isn't just a rom-com. It is an actual intrigue drama.
Yes, exactly. And I think it works really well with the world that they have and the way in which, like, now that we've gotten the perspective on things from Mao Mao and the way that like the impact of a character like that existing in our main character's past was showcased here, right?
Yeah.
We like, and I think that's really important because you don't want to have a character like that in there and to have it just sort of be like the just contained to that person, right? There's the
No.
rippling effect of all of the things that they've done.
They've
right?
been in the story for a decade or more, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly, right? Everybody knows, at the
sorry,
Verdigris house.
They've been in the story for at least 20 years, yeah.
Right, the creep with the monocle is here again. Just stay here and, we'll have, one of our people entertain him and send him on his way.
Which is fun because that's another thing that was built up of the idea that Mei Mei is going to entertain him in her way, with like, with like games and stuff, and
right, because
conversation and tea.
Right, exactly, because he wants that sort of,
no, because he's sick.
Mental stimulation as well.
No, because he's sick.
So that's.
I think that's being implied. Like,
there is always the possibility of that.
Yes, he could have used something else to get her sick.
Right. He's already basically slipping shit into her in a way that is, like not, that is not something other people were aware of, right?
Right. So he could
have done all sorts of things, right?
So nobody is probably allowed to sleep with him, I'm guessing.
Well, I'm guessing that. So, and maybe this would make things too complicated, but I feel like it also is more twisted if he doesn't actually have syphilis.
Sure.
And he intentionally gave Mao Mao's mother syphilis, right? Like as a part of the
she
I'm
also
going to
got
devalue
pregnant
her.
too.
No, right, but that he could have made a whole cocktail to give her, right?
Okay.
Like, so what I'm thinking is that yeah, maybe she entertains him because she entertains him in ways that does not actually involve sex. That is an absolute possibility.
Well, we saw with the way that she was using the rocks that she plays backgammon.
Go. Right,
Yeah,
and then that was one of the big things. She was the only person who was able to like contend with him in those sorts of areas.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like the nature of the scene in which then they have the bath together afterwards, I feel like part of the impact from that comes from the idea that she was in fact having sex with him, right? Like that she's still doing her job, right? Yes, she entertains this guy who's an absolute monster, right? And even just entertaining him in a non-sexual way would still be all kinds of right.
That totally makes sense. It's something that yes, there is nothing in this that means that he could not have just done this for the purpose of lowering her value.
Right. Now,
but it feels like it then make it seem like it was a repeated attempt where it's syphilis was one thing, but it wasn't enough. So now I have to also get her pregnant.
Right. And so this is where I'm curious if they'll go into the methods in which it was done, because I feel like that, like,
or more just the who.
Sure.
Because it's his semen.
Right.
It's his. She's his daughter.
Right.
Like, so he did not have sex with her, but he did somehow impregnate her.
Exactly. And so the I'm sure there are many more. But when I have looked into this for the purpose of writing, of like, wait, hang on a sec. How do the people at the brothels actually, do this without just getting pregnant and then their career's over, right?
Yeah.
The two methods that I read about was that animal intestines used as condoms.
Yeah.
And then like a sponge or some kind of absorbent cloth, basically, that you then soak in vinegar and then insert to act as a spermicide and also a catch for the sperm.
Yes.
Right? So what I'm guessing is that it's not the condom thing, because he never actually had sex with her. It's that he basically got access to whatever the things are that, for some super expensive courtesan, right? It's the, we don't want it to be on the person who's paying for this at all, right?
No.
Right? So we'll take care of that, of course. And then he just makes it so that it's,
instead going to get her pregnant.
Yeah, instead going to get her pregnant and maybe even also give her syphilis,
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, the fact that the show is both keeping the like not going into too much detail in a way that feels very much like a character decision rather than a like content censoring, we're not going to go into that kind of a thing. I very much appreciate that given the general subject matter of this show. If they decide to go into it further, as this is potentially explored more, because this is very much like
it's Mao Mao's story.
It's Mao Mao's story. It's a plot point of the show and all of that stuff,
she
right?
has not only like dealt with this from having Lakan like showing up all the time, but it's also just the literal consistent time she spent caring for her mother in whatever way she can. And then also the, latent and held back trauma of, there was at least one point where she remembers as a baby her mother trying to stab her and kill her.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Right. And
oh my God.
And so now all of the stuff that we get from her, that is the interest in apothecary and medicines and stuff for a variety of reasons. It totally makes sense that would be something she would be interested in. Maybe because she was saved from syphilis as a baby, right? By her now adopted dad. Maybe because it's the, oh my God, I wish I could have helped my mother, right? And or the, what the fuck did that guy do? And I want to know exactly what it was because, et cetera, right? Mm-hmm. And then maybe along the way, it turns into an actual passion where it's the, no, this stuff's really cool. But also,
I think that's also that's the dad, the adoptive dad, kind of raising her in such a way that she has that passion for it as well.
But the way in which when she's in the midst of this and she's thrown off by the experience that she had, right, and it's she's trying to forget about interacting with her mom and everything. The thing that actually is the reset for her is herbs, cool, right? I can nerd out about this. I can lose myself in this thing that I am actually passionate about that will make it so that in another potential way, it's easier for me to slip into this other not mask, because that is genuine excitement.
It's a protective layer. It's a protective layer. Like, everybody has things that has pained them in the past, and to varying degrees. But the idea that we as people need to survive, we need to keep moving forward. There's going to be things that you basically shift into for the purpose of just providing a little bit of separation internally from that thing.
Yep.
And most people do this, even if it's not conscious. It's a very very powerful mechanism to then keep keep yourself waking up in the morning, to keep yourself going about and feeding yourself, taking care of yourself. The fact that Jinshi ends up kind of being like, hey, I'm going to stumble into this area here because I need to have this conversation with you because I can tell kind of what's going on, but I need to know a little bit more about how this is affecting you or what you know about it, because I don't like holding this stuff back from you. He wants to be connected with her. And so it's the, damn it, now I have information that I'm not sure she has. So I'm going to casually be like, hey, this is shit, I just saw the demon in her eyes. Okay, you know about all this.
And what I love about this...
I'm sorry, I won't do it.
What I love about this is that this isn't coming as a result of Jinshi being prying.
No.
So I feel like in a lot of stories when...
He's worried,
He's not even just worried. He does need to know this kind of stuff because Lakan is actively coming up to him and basically trying to get him to do stuff. So he doesn't fully know what he's dealing with. So he really does need to know, right?
Yeah.
As opposed to what I feel like can happen a lot of the times in stories where the meta of these two are going to end up together is a crutch that ends up being used for characters to act in ways that actually just isn't healthy, helpful, whatever, right?
Or
outside
not consistent with their character.
Or not consistent with the character, and then outside of the idea of these two being the main characters in a romance, it don't feel right. Whereas here, I absolutely, this totally makes sense that Jinshi would be kind of stumbling around here because one, he is actually, young, right? And immature in a lot of ways, but it's the, I'm getting all the sus vibes from this guy, but I don't know how deep it goes.
The sus vibes, but also the idea that this world is one I really don't know anything about. I'm a babe in this world. I don't really have any info. So the idea that he goes to Mao Mao and he's genuinely like, I'm curious about how this stuff works. He then starts to piece it all together himself, and he's like, oh shit, this is her dad, and he's coming here because he believes, no, I do have ownership over her, even though I set up a situation where this would all come about by my own fucked up design. So I have my power here. I need to protect Mao Mao. So I need to go to her and be like, hey, I'm trying to protect you here, but I need to know, do you know about the... Oh, you do.
Shit! You're
you
right.
Do.
It takes.
Okay.
It puts
then
so much.
I will be the wall. I will be the shield that guards the realms of
Mao Mao.
Mao Mao. Yeah.
Right. And all of the other interactions where it's not about whether or not you would, it's about whether or not you could, right? You know, it's the,
if a deal became big enough, if he got leverage over you.
Right. Oh yeah, I put freckles on my face so that way I'm less attractive, less appealing and all that stuff because, you know, who knows what could happen when, right? It's not that she knows in general that that's a thing. No, she has a specific story to it.
Yep.
It makes sense that if you have, you know, a person in Mao Mao's position in a world like this, that she would have a reason to do that and maybe know that that's a good idea. Yeah. But also, odds are, she has a specific story that she's also, you know, drawing education from.
Yes.
You know,
not inspiration, education.
Right. And so, you know, here, all of the things that Jinshi has done, outright purchasing her and all of that stuff, that's such a hair's breadth away from Lakan, right?
Yeah, it's just because, Jinshi, you're not that person.
Right.
But, I mean, anyone could be, you know, just a slightly better version of Lakan and still be terrifying.
You very easily could be, not necessarily Lakan specifically, but, you know, when you get the things like the, hey, you know, lick the honey off of my fingers, you know, right? It's, you know, you need to have the I forget.
Gaoshin.
Gaoshin there, but also I think it was Gyokyo that then like threw a sandal at him.
She did.
That,
yeah.
You know, right? You know,
like a Vietnamese mom.
Right, because you know, you are in a position of power where that won't necessarily be stopped either by, you know, Mao Mao, because what does she do there, right? You know, her life is in your hands, or other people that, you know, maybe would otherwise say something, but, you know, you're their boss or you're their better or the whatever, you know. So this is
so what's fun here is that we had all the hints for this basically spelled out, and so now it's the, hey, everybody knows. There's no real secrets here. What's fun is that once you cover all the secrets and you cover all the bases, there's clearly more. But
sure,
you can then start making progress where people act upon that information.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we're going to learn more things, you know, potentially at a faster rate than all the characters are here.
Yep.
But when you have these moments of communication through emotion, not just words, but like powerful emotion here, it can simplify the story and make progress happen like a lot quicker. So if we still have potentially like, I don't know, it's a 2-cour, you know, anime for the first season here. There's going to be more seasons of
which
this.
I'm very happy
I'm very glad about. And apparently the next season is already like announced and it's coming like relatively soon.
Let's go. Another 2 cours.
I could be. We're getting potentially a lot more just in this first season. And that's a very fun thing to then cycle back around to the intrigue stuff, because instead of having it be the, hey, all that stuff of showing how Mao Mao solves these kind of problems is there to just build the familiarity that we have with Mao Mao's abilities and what have you. But also these are all things that kind of point towards a type of way that Mao Mao sees the world.
Right.
All the things down to the soldier, you know, and that one might have even been a courtesan, like trying to set up a situation where she would then not be desired by that one person.
She loses value. So
exactly.
Yeah.
So
right.
all this stuff.
Oh my God. Yeah. The
potentially ties into the idea that Mao Mao's whole story has been about there's a couple mysteries here. I could still develop syphilis at some point. That could still happen. So in a way that ties her to Jinshi in some ways, they could both be people that are unattainable in the like world of sex and relationships and stuff
or
like
at the very least, another way to tie into the notion of Mao Mao being the undesirable.
Exactly.
You know?
Right.
Low status.
Right.
And also,
exactly. That's a whole other thing there, which then can have them connecting on the relational, emotional level first, and their feelings of maybe loneliness. Despite that, there's stuff we can go through with that. But then, the idea that she has an active goal. She has not just an active goal with, you know, basically ending this guy's pursuit, if you will.
Staying safe.
Staying safe. Yeah, exactly. But then also having allies that have actual influence to give her the ability to bring her head up a little bit and go, let's be, safely active in this, not just kind of, doing the possum thing of like playing dead, disappearing, just kind of keeping myself, naturally hidden in that regard.
Yep.
Because in some ways now she's the safest she's probably ever been, in that Jinshi is more powerful than the Obachan is at the Verdigris house. And
Right.
Stuff,
Yeah. Exactly.
He's got more influence there, but that raises Mao Mao's position, making her ability to be seen by even more powerful people, or just other powerful people, more problematic. So that makes the connection between her and Jinshi just extra potent as far as things go story wise.
If Jinshi is the emperor to be, right, and him and Mao Mao end up getting together, well, yeah, let's have them deal with their first disappearing that needs to happen, right?
Or just the proper, hey, we need to concoct something.
Yeah, yep, exactly.
That
Whoops.
Yeah. I mean, they might. I would love to try something even harder, though.
Yeah.
I would love to try something where Lakan doesn't get poisoned or killed or anything, but it's he actively gives up his whole thing here that doesn't lead in some kind of trail back to them based on their meddling through characters like the lady that they were just interacting with at the herb garden.
That I gotta say, that was something I was kind of surprised by.
Yeah.
Because I was expecting here, the thing I was most worried about is that then Lakan shows up, right? Because it's
he's been watching her kind of come to this area.
Right, exactly. So there would have absolutely been grounds for it to have been him, you know? And his whole comment of, I could count on one hand the number of people that could defy you,
Yeah.
But the level of JoJo's menacing, characters that I could kind of feel from this scene, even though this character was actually one that seemed pretty chill and she actually treated Mao Mao just fine, and like in the other times that we'd seen her. So I'm like, wait, what?
Well, she seems reasonable. I think one of the things that's been separating Mao Mao from all the other characters, especially most of the other women that weren't the consorts, is that her character was one that used reason.
Yeah.
And used
very
it
level-headed.
very, very well. So the idea that this woman also uses reason and might be trying to beat death, I think that is a joke, but I think it is also tied to something of her goal being one where Mao Mao could genuinely help, but there's just enough just enough of a misdirect or an area where she can't confide in her for whatever that reason is.
Right.
That
because
is exciting.
Yeah, we'll have to see exactly what that is, because she has her own set of mysteries that we'll have to unpack. But the thing that I would hope this situation is, which isn't what the tone seemed to imply, is that she's here on damage control. She sees Mao Mao here and she's like, I told you before, you shouldn't be this close to the military area. And so she's like, I'm going to be here with you because I'm able to at least be in this area and feel safe myself because of who knows what the reason is. And so
safety in numbers,
safety in numbers. Well, and also I'm thinking maybe like her position of why she specifically, feels fine.
Goes to this
unofficial
herb garden rather
than
any other place. Yeah.
Right, and so that maybe she's like watching Mao Mao's back of like the idiot, don't be here, but but that's not what it is, because there was a lot of tension, and then she also leaves.
Yeah, what I think it is that someone was buried here.
Okay.
There's a mound, so it very much seems like a place of burial. It's an unmarked grave.
Okay.
She's keeping it beautiful.
And that's why nobody, everybody's fine with her tending it?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And on some level, this is something that's potentially tied back to Mao Mao's adoptive father, because he planted a whole bunch of stuff in different areas.
Okay.
So this
is like where the babe that wasn't able to be saved.
I don't know, but just the idea that this is something tied to her dad, I feel like feels right. Her adoptive dad.
Yeah.
But yes, if it is something to be hinted at as I'm trying to bring someone back from the dead. It's the
Yeah, that was a very like kind of out of nowhere line, given how grounded the show is with regards to its medicine and things like
right.
that.
I would never take that seriously, even in this world.
Right, but Mau Mau seems to, even if for a second.
Oh, right, because there's a certain lack of education where it's the
Sure, it's the wait, you know of some new cool thing?
Right.
Yeah.
And also we literally have things that can bring people back from the dead after, a few seconds, a minute or two or something.
Sure.
So it's the difference between, resuscitating a corpse versus like
right,
start
their heart up again.
Yeah, exactly, right. So yeah. Her tone of voice that she also used, I forget her name. It's very close to Sui Ren, but that's why.
Sui Rei.
Sui Rei, right.
There was a part of me that was wondering, like, I'm like, no, there's no reason why like names being similar would infer like relation, but
no.
I was definitely like, wait, in 40 years, could she look like the Oba-chan?
But I think her tone of voice that she also gave is one that felt very much like she could have been considering killing Mau Mau here.
Right, like that was,
and it's not because she's taking the herbs, but it's because she's ruining this place.
Well,
like,
so
this place is special.
The thing that
and so she wants to kind of scare her a little bit from that. Yeah.
The other thing that it makes me think of is that she's closely related to Lakan in some way, to the point where it made me wonder, wait, like I forgot for a second that it was actually said like, she's Lakan's, biological daughter, and I was like, wait, maybe this person, like, I don't know.
I also just need to clarify something here. This is clearly not stuff that her dad planted, because her dad's stuff planted was in a different spot. We are now in the outer area and all that. This is something that she says, I'm just allowed to plant what I want here.
Right, and it seems like
this is all her work, essentially.
And it's probably been going on for a long time.
Right.
I'm allowed to plant what I want here. I imagine it's something where this has been going on like before her potentially, and she just now is the person that's sort of caring for it and adding to it.
That could be cool. I also think it could be like potentially something that's not necessarily a fucked up place in general. But it is weird that Lakan would watch over this place.
Right, like having characters happen to just run into each other, or like see someone in a different place. Okay, that,
every scene has to have a purpose.
Yeah, right, but like the idea that in a palace that's this big,
because we're not in the palace, we're in the where we are, but we're not in the.
That's how big the palace is, right?
Right, I know.
It's just a different section of the palace,
Right, the outer.
Right. Yeah. They could totally have there be additional reason
to that,
other than coincidence if they wanted to.
Yeah. But all right, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel. So yeah, if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.